Hey, good afternoon. This is Steve Schiffer. Hey, give you a quick little bit of overview on this lesson. This was started to be worked on through Education 101 as a fourth grade math project. I worked on it with Terry Black, make sure he gets some proper credit out of the deal. We had a good time with it. The kids had a fantastic time with it. I hope that you enjoy it. Uh, as I mentioned on the discussion board, what you're going to want to do is potentially have some little cheese and crackers with you. That way you can kind of follow along with the labs a little bit more. Otherwise, you can simulate it. It's not a big deal. It's obviously not a hard concept. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this lesson. Hey, all. Welcome to this class. Today we're going to be discussing perimeter and area. Obviously, as you've listened to that video, you're probably still kind of humming along to it. Perimeter, it's on the outside. Area, it's on the inside. So perimeter, you just add. Area, you multiply. Anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to have some fun with these crackers. I'm going to go ahead and pass these out to you. Simulate, simulate, simulate. Anyway, as these crackers are being passed out, I just want to go over a few safety concerns. These crackers that we're using are the ones that we've developed specifically for this lab. Unfortunately, my grubby little fingers have touched it. Your partners are going to touch it. So please don't eat these, okay? So is anyone allergic to these crackers? Go ahead and raise your hand. We do have some alternates here. Okay, okay. If you're allergic, obviously don't eat the crackers if you are not allergic. don't eat the crackers again. Anyway, at the conclusion of this exercise, we're going to go ahead and hand out some crackers for you to actually eat, ones that we haven't touched. Anyway, at that time, feel free to enjoy them. You guys, up by that point, have worked up some sweat, I'm sure, and ready to eat. So we're going to go over a series of exercise today, and I want you to go ahead and separate out to your partners, teams of two. Great. Okay. By now, this is what I kind of want us to look at. So these Cheez-It crackers are great. You know, they're uniform, or they're easy to manipulate. And what I want you to do is go ahead and make a polygon with a perimeter of 16 units. Okay. Anybody out there know what a polygon is? Okay. Yep. Basically, it's a shape. And, you know, just to kind of keep things easy today, what we want to do is we want to stay with basic quadrilaterals. Okay. Just something that has four sides to it. We can get a little bit creative, you know, and we might do so in a little bit. But at the moment, what I want you to do is just make a basic quadrilateral with a perimeter of 16 units. Okay. And again, perimeter outside, you know, so you're just going to go ahead and kind of add up and see what you can shape. Okay. So obviously, at this point, we would be letting the students do their own thing. This was also part of what's called the explore portion of the lesson. So we're wandering and virtually simulating, looking over their shoulders, saying how are they doing, seeing what shapes they have, asking them some questions to kind of build on it. Okay, fast forward. Okay, great. You guys did a wonderful job with this. Okay. Now, what we want to do today is just kind of see how area changes. That's that space on the inside, remember? So we want to see how area changes as our perimeter gets bigger. Now, if you look at the slide that's on the board, we can see that, you know, we have one little cracker there. That's one. Okay. So if you look at that, we have a perimeter of 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. Okay. So total perimeter, 4 centimeters. Okay. Now, what's its area? Well, we multiply 1 times 1. Area is only 1. Okay. Now take a peek what's next to it. Okay. So we have a perimeter that has sides of 4 lengths. So as we take a peek at it, we add those up, right? So 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And so we end up with a perimeter of 16 centimeters. Now, we had an area of 1 on the first shape. So anyone tell me what is the area of the second shape? Yes, you, Sally, in the back. Yep. Yeah, great job. Yes. We ended up with an area of 16. Okay, 4 times 4. Great job. Okay. So what I want you to do is use that graph paper that I handed out, and I want you to kind of play with this a bit on your own, kind of see how things are going. So a quick sidestep here. Obviously, at this point, I am wandering around. I hope you can kind of feel me looking over your shoulder as you're working on your graph paper. We're discussing things, looking at the shape that you're drawing. Hopefully, you're not just scribbling on your sheet of paper. That would be bad, not on task. I would do DocuPoints, maybe. Anyway, fast forward. All right, so let's kind of have a little bit of fun with this now, okay? Now, Cheez-Its have been used for this purpose for quite a while, and you can kind of see on the board that they've actually given us a pretty good sheet that kind of tells us some things that we can look at, and the shapes are getting a little bit more and more creative. All right, so I kind of want you to take the crackers that I've given you and see how many shapes that you can make. And once you kind of do it, kind of keep track of it. And as you go through these different shapes, see what you can do with the largest perimeter, but using the least amount of crackers. You can see some examples on the screen. Obviously, uh, area of 1, perimeter 4, it's pretty good. But as you look at it, I just kind of want to see what we got going, okay? So let's go ahead and take 3-4 minutes here, kind of play around with them. It's kind of a version of Tetris if you guys have played that. Okay, now I'm back looking over your shoulder. I hope you're playing with your Cheez-It crackers, doing a fantastic job, arranging them, moving them around. Okay, this is all simulating lab time, a whole bunch of busy yelling students having a great time, hopefully not eating their crackers. That would be bad. Okay, fast forward. All right. You know, as we look at things in real life, we can see how perimeter and area becomes more important. I have a couple of pictures here on the screen, and what you're going to have is you can see some farmland out there from an aerial view, and you go ahead and see some tiles on the floor, and you kind of almost picture cheese and crackers all over the world. So as we look at farmland, especially what I like is like this little section here, you can see where they've divided up into just practical length and width units, right? So the different colors obviously mean they're most likely planting different areas. They might be letting an area rest, they might not. Over here we have a pattern going, but again, if you're trying to figure out the area of a floor, you can kind of look even probably on your school classroom floor and see the different tiles there. Now, you can go ahead and spend some time and take a walk along that classroom edge and you can maybe count, maybe you have 20, 30, 40 tiles along there. And if you want, you can go ahead and count all the way to the other side. But assuming it's square, remember what we can do is we just count one side and count the length of the room, count the width of the room. Then we can just multiply it out, 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And that'll give you a good idea what the perimeter is, anticipating that there's no closets or such. Now again, to find the area of the room, we can use those same squares. Again, that length and that width, but this time instead of 2 length plus 2 width, we just multiply the length and the width together and you get that area. Okay, so just kind of going over things, basically you are going to have the definition of perimeter being the distance around a two-dimensional shape. The definition of an area is the amount of space inside the boundary of that two-dimensional shape. Okay, so what I want you to do is go ahead and take your graph paper and draw some 4 shapes. I want them to have different perimeters but the same area. Okay, let's take a few moments to do this. Great, this has been a few moments. Okay, so you did a fine job all. What we're going to do is I really need your help so I can kind of make sure that we're getting what we asked for. And I am going to hand out a series of evaluations, okay? What I want you to do is go ahead and answer these questions best you can. Please remember to put your name at the top of the piece of paper. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask as I hand them out. You guys have been great. I had a good time here today, and I hope that you enjoyed and learned something. You have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.